You are walking through a crowded city street. Thousands of people, cars honking, notifications buzzing in your pocket, a deadline looming in 3 hours. Your heart is racing. Your palms are sweating. Your mind is spinning through scenarios that have not happened yet. This is anxiety. And it is the most common mental health condition on earth. But here is what nobody tells you. Your ancestors did not have this. Not because they were tougher, not because they meditated more, because their world matched their nervous system, and yours does not. Anxiety is not a defect in your brain. It is a mismatch between ancient wiring and modern life. To understand why, you need to go back about 2 million years. That is when your nervous system was built. Not in an office, not in a traffic jam, on the African savanna. Your ancestors lived in small bands of about 20 to 50 people. They moved constantly. They faced real immediate threats. A lion in the grass, a rival tribe at the waterhole, a snake under a rock. These threats were rare. But when they appeared, they were life or death. So your brain evolved a system designed for exactly this. It is called the sympathetic nervous system. It floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol. It sharpens your senses. It prepares you to fight or to run. This is the fight or flight response. And it was perfect for the savanna. A lion appears. Your heart rate doubles. Blood rushes to your muscles. Your vision narrows. You sprint. You climb. You survive. Then the danger passes. Your body returns to baseline. Cortisol drops. Your heart slows. You rest. The entire cycle might last 10 minutes. Then it is over. Now compare that to your Tuesday morning. Your alarm goes off. You check your phone. 17 notifications. An email from your boss. A text from your mother. A news alert about something terrible happening somewhere. Your brain registers each of these as a potential threat. Not because they are. Because it cannot tell the difference. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that detects danger, evolved to spot lions. It has no category for passive-aggressive email. So it treats everything like a lion. And when you have 20 potential lions before breakfast, your nervous system never gets to rest. This is what researchers call chronic low-grade stress. Not one big threat, 1,000 tiny ones. And your body was never built for that. In 2010, a team of anthropologists led by Christopher Boehm spent years studying the Hadza, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer societies in Tanzania. They found something remarkable. The Hadza experience stress, but they do not experience anxiety disorders. Not because their lives are easy. They face hunger, they face predators, they face disease. But their stress is acute. It comes, it goes. It does not accumulate. Because their environment does not constantly signal danger. There are no billboards telling them they are inadequate. No algorithms designed to make them feel insecure. No inbox that never empties. Their threats are real and immediate. And when the threat is gone, their nervous system resets. Yours does not get that chance. Here is another difference. Your ancestors lived in tight-knit communities. Everyone knew everyone. Social connection was not optional. It was survival. If you were injured, the group carried you. If you were grieving, the group sat with you. If you were anxious, you were not alone with it. Modern humans are the most socially connected species in history and the most socially isolated. You have 500 friends online and nobody to call at 3 a.m. This matters because social isolation is a direct trigger for anxiety. Your brain interprets isolation as danger because for your ancestors, being alone meant being vulnerable. A lone human on the savanna was a dead human. So your brain panics when it senses disconnection, and modern life is designed to keep you slightly disconnected. Always. Then there is the problem of control. Your ancestors had very little control over their environment. but they had complete control over their immediate actions. They could walk away from a threat. They could hunt. They could build a fire. They could make a decision and see the result. Modern life gives you the illusion of control, but very little actual agency. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the news. You cannot control what other people think of you online. But your brain still tries. It spins. It ruminates. It rehearses conversations that will never happen. This is what anxiety actually is. Your brain trying to solve problems it cannot solve. Because it was built for a world where problems had solutions. And most modern problems do not. In 2017, researchers at the University of Virginia conducted a now famous study. They gave participants the choice between sitting alone in a room with nothing but their thoughts or receiving a mild electric shock. 67% of men and 25% of women chose the electric shock. They would rather feel physical pain than sit with their own mind. That is how uncomfortable modern consciousness has become. Your ancestors did not need to escape their thoughts. Because their thoughts were connected to their actions, they thought about where to find water. They walked until they found it. Problem, action, resolution. Your thoughts loop endlessly because there is no action to take, no walking, no hunting, no fire to build, just scrolling and waiting and worrying. There is also the issue of uncertainty. Your ancestors lived with enormous uncertainty. They did not know where their next meal would come from. They did not know if the rains would come. But they were not anxious about it in the way you are, because they did not expect certainty. Modern life promises it. Your calendar tells you exactly what will happen at 2 p.m. Your weather app tells you it will rain at 4. Your GPS tells you exactly how long your commute will take. And when reality deviates even slightly, your brain panics because it has been trained to expect control. And control is an illusion. Your ancestors knew that. You have forgotten. So what can you actually do about this? First, understand that your anxiety is not a character flaw. It is an evolutionary alarm system screaming in a language designed for a different world. Second, give your nervous system what it actually needs. Movement. Your ancestors walked 10 to 15 miles a day. Movement is how your body processes stress hormones. When you sit still all day, cortisol has nowhere to go. It circulates. It accumulates. It becomes anxiety. Third, reconnect with physical reality. Touch grass. Literally, studies show that even 20 minutes in nature lowers cortisol levels measurably. Your brain recognizes natural environments as safe, because for millions of years they were. Fourth, reduce your input. Your ancestors received information at the speed of walking. You receive it at the speed of light. Your brain cannot process 1,000 inputs per day. It was built for maybe 10. Every notification is a micro threat. Every headline is a micro lion. Turn them off. Fifth, and most importantly, rebuild social connection in physical space. Not online. Not through screens. Face to face. Body to body. Your nervous system calibrates to the people around it. When you are with calm people, you become calmer. When you are with anxious people, you become more anxious. This is called co-regulation. And it is how your ancestors manage stress. Not alone. Together, the Hadza do not have therapists. They have each other. That is not romanticizing the past. That is recognizing what your biology actually requires. Anxiety is not the enemy. It is a signal. A signal that your ancient body is living in a world it does not recognize. The solution is not to fix yourself. It is to rebuild a life that your nervous system can understand. One with movement. One with nature. One with real human connection. One where threats are rare and recovery is possible. You are not broken. You are just living in a world that your brain was never built for. Your ancestors did not have anxiety disorders. because their world matched their wiring. And deep down, yours is still trying to find that match. It is still looking for the savanna. It is still waiting for the danger to pass. It is still hoping you will remember that you were never meant to live this fast, this loud, this alone. You were meant to walk, to breathe, to rest, to be surrounded by people who would carry you if you fell. That is what your anxiety is asking for. Not medication, not meditation apps, a world that makes sense to the body you inherited. You are walking through a crowded city street, thousands of people, cars honking, notifications buzzing. But now you know. Your heart is not racing because you are weak. It is racing because it remembers a different world, and it is trying to keep you alive in this one.